Good morning, my dear students. Let us discuss about Business Law Unit 2. Today's contents of our class is performance of contract. What is performance of contract? Meaning and types of performance. Coming to the introduction of performance of contract. What is a performance of a contract? The term performance of a contract means that both the promisee and the promisee have fulfilled their respective obligations which the contract placed upon them. Here, the term performance of contract means both the promisee and promisee have fulfilled their respective obligations which the contract placed upon them. Here, there is a contract. In that contract, there is two parties, party A and party B. The person who gives the promise is called promise. The person who receives the promise is called promisee. Here, both parties of the contract want to fulfill their duties. That is called performance of the contract. Coming to the example, for instance, here A visits a stationery shop to buy a calculator. Here A is the one of the party of the contract. What he is doing? He is visiting a stationery shop to buy a calculator, and the shopkeeper delivers the calculator and A pays the price. Here one contract is there. In that contract two parties are there. First person is party A. Second one is party B. Party A is the customer. Party B is the shopkeeper. Party A went to stationery shop to buy a calculator. Party B is selling the calculator to party A by receiving money. That is the contract here. Here A completed its duty and B completed their duty. Here A performance is completed and B's performance is completed. There is no any pending duties of party A and party B. Means contract is completed. That is called performance of contract. What the performance is done by the parties in the contract is told by the performance of the contract. Here the contract is said to be being discharged by mutual performance. When the both parties of the contract completed their duties, then only the contract will be discharged. That is called performance of a contract. Performance of a contract occurs when the parties to the contract fulfill their obligation under the contract within the time and manner prescribed. Here, performance of a contract occurs when the parties to the contract fulfill their obligation under the contract within the time and manner prescribed. Here there is a contract. The performance is done by both parties who are present in the contract. Those are party A and party B. Both parties want to fulfill their obligations according to the contract only. And here time is important. The manner prescribed in the contract we want to follow. We want to follow the time and manner prescribed. These two are highlight points in the performing a contract. And coming to the offer to perform, section 38. Here offer to perform, section 38 is there. Here performance of a contract may be divided into two types. Here performance of contract may be divided into two types. First one is actual performance. Second one is attempted performance. Here performance of contract may be classified into two different types. First one is actual performance. Second one is attempted performance. Here a party to an contract is said to have actually performed his promise when he fulfilled all his obligations under the contract. Here a party is there which is presented in the contract is said to have actually performed the promise when he fulfilled all his obligations under the contract. Here there is a contract. In that contract both parties are presented. They have done a manner prescribed contract. Means what they want to do, they have registered. Previously they have discussed between two parties in the particular manner which is described in the contract time. They are doing those duties in the same manner. That is called actually performed contract, and it then becomes the duty of the parties when those duties and responsibilities and manners prescribed information is mentioned in the contract. Then it will becomes a duty of the party to do what he has undertaken to do. When both parties perform their respective promises, a contract is said to have been actually performed. Here contract is there, party A and party B is there. There is a manner prescribed and time is mentioned in the contract. Here party A and party B are performing their duties according to the manner prescribed only and following the time. So it is called as actually performed contract. And actually performance brings a contract to an end. When actually contract is completed, then immediately the contract comes to the ending position. And sometimes it so happens that the promisor offers to perform his obligations under the contract. Here sometimes it so happens that the promisor offers to perform his obligations under the contract at the proper time and place, not the promisee does not accept the performance. Here sometimes it so happens that promisor offers to perform his obligations under the contract at a proper time and place, not promisee does not accept the performance. Here time and place is not accepted by the one of the party in the contract, that is nothing but promisee. This is known as attempted performance or tender. And next point, when a promisor has made an offer of performance to the promisee and the offer is not accepted, the promisor is neither responsible for the non-performance. Here when a promisor has made an offer of performance to the promisee, the offer is not accepted and the promisor is neither responsible for the non-performance nor does he lose his rights under the contract. Here like one contract is there. In that contract two parties is there. Here first one party A, second one is party B. Party A bringing one offer and it was not accepted by the party B, means that contract is not at all started. So when the contract is not at all started, the promissory is neither having responsible for non-performance. When the contract is not acceptable by another party who are presented in the contract, then he is not having rights to blame on another party on reason of non-performing duties, and he won't have any rights to blame or any case to file any case in the court. That is called rights under the contract. Thus, a tender of performance is equal to actual performance. Attempted performance excuses the promisor from further performance and gives him the right to sue the promisee for breach of the contract. Here, thus a tender of performance is equal to actual performance. Attempted performance excuses that promisor from further performance gives him right to sue the promisee for breach of the contract. Here when the tender is fulfilled according to the actual performance, contract is completed. And we want to identify some important conditions should be followed according to the contract. Here every offer of performance or tender must be fulfill the following conditions. Here every offer of performance or tender must fulfill the following conditions. Tender must be unconditional. Here the tender must be an unconditional. If an offer is made by offerer to perform the contract on certain conditions, then the tender is invalid. Here there should not be any unconditionals. Here tender should be an unconditional and there should not be any conditionals which are made in between parties. Here offer made by the offerer to perform the contract in certain conditions, then the tender is invalid. If any person is keeping the conditionals and rules in the particular contract, then the tender is invalid. Example, D, a debtor, offers to pay to C, his creditor, the amount due to him on the condition that C sells him or his shares. This is not at all valid tender. Here example, D, a debtor, offers to pay to C, his creditor, that the amount due to him on the condition that C sells his shares. This is not a valid tender. That is the example for unconditional things. And coming to the second point, the tender must be made at a proper time. Here the tender must be made at a proper time and proper place. Coming to the example, a tender of goods after the business hours is not a valid tender. Here important highlight point is a tender of goods after the business hour is not a valid tender. And coming to the third point, the tender must be made by a person who is in the position and willing to perform the promise. Here one contract is there. Here party A want to is a promiser and party B is a promisee. And here party A want to have the willingness to do the tender and the party A want to should have the proper position, that willingness to perform the promise, then only it is considerable. And coming to the next point, if the offer is an offerer to deliver anything to the promisee must have a reasonable opportunity of seeking that thing offered is thing which the promiser is bound to deliver. Here party A and party B are there. They have done a contract. Party A purchased some goods in the shop of the party B. Here one contract is there. In that contract two parties are present, party A and party B. Party A is the customer, party B is the shopkeeper. Party A purchased some goods from the party B, from the shopkeeper. Here shopkeeper promised to the customer, I will deliver goods towards you. It is the one of the offer by our shop. So then this is the one of the condition which is provided in the contract. Now shopkeeper want to fulfill their service, that is the actual performance. And the tender must be of whole and not a part. Here the tender must be a whole, not a part. We cannot divide a tender into number of parts. And a tender of less than actually due is not a tender at all. Here a tender of less than actually due is not at all a tender at all. And coming to the sixth point, tender must be made. Here tender must be made to the promisee or his duly authorized agent. Tender made to a stranger would be invalid. Here tender must be done made to promisee or his duly authorized agent only, and tender made to the stranger would be an invalid tender. We want to notice this one. If a promisee neglects or refuses to give the promiser reasonable facilities for the performance of the promisee, the promiser is excused by such neglected or refusal to any non-performance caused thereby. If a promisee neglects or refuses to give the promiser reasonable facilities for the performance of promise, Here promiser is neglecting or refusing to the reasonable facilities for performance of promisee. The promise is excused by such neglect or refusal to any non-performance caused thereby. Here proper facilities which are promised in the contract should be done by promisee. That one a highlight point here. The tender must be in a proper form. The tender must be in a proper form. The tender of money must be in legal tender. Here the tender should be in a proper form and the tender should be in a legal tender. It won't be acceptable by the law. So legalized tender is very good tender and healthy tender. A tender by the check is a valid if the person to whom it is being made is willing to accept. Here the tender is check is a valid if the person to whom it is being made is willingness to accept. Here check is acceptable and valid in the tender, but both parties want to agree that condition, then only it is acceptable. And next point, the party making the tender must be always be ready to fulfill the obligations whenever called upon. Here the parties who are present in the tender must have always be ready to fulfill the obligations whenever called upon. A mere tender by post to pay amount is not valid tender, since there is no readiness and willingness to tender money immediately. Here anybody not having rights to postpone money on next time. Immediately when the tender is acceptable, you want to pay the amount. That is then only the tender is valid. And a tender may be a tender of good or tender of money. Here a tender must be a tender of good or tender of money. It is important point. Here types of performance. Performance as an action of performing any be actual performance or attempted performance. Here performance of contract is mainly divided into two categories, actual performance and attempted performance. Coming to the actual performance, when a promiser to a contract has fulfilled his obligation in accordance with the terms of the contract, the promise is said to be have been actually performed. Here in contract both parties are there, party and party B, promise and promisee, promiser and promisee are there. They want to fulfill their obligations which are promised according to the contract, then it is called actual performance. Otherwise it is not at all called a actual performance. And actual performance gives a discharge to contract. The liability of promiser ceases to exist when the actual performance of both parties who are present in the contract is completed, their actual duties are completed, then the contract goes to discharging position. Otherwise it will be continuous. And liability of promiser ceases to exist. And here there is an example for actual performance. Here A agrees to deliver 10 bags of cement at B's factory and B promises to pay price on delivery. Here A agrees to deliver 10 bags of cement at B factory and B promises to pay the price on delivery. Here A delivers the cement on due date and B makes the payment. This is actual performance. A also completed their duty and B also completed their duty. Total duties, obligations which are promised in the contract according to the prescribed contract, though both parties have completed performing their duties, then it is called actual performance. Then this is called actual performance. And actual performance can further be subdivided into substantial performance and partial performance. Actual performance can be divided into substantial performance and partial performance. Coming to attempted performance, when the performance has become due it is sometimes sufficient if the promisor offers to perform his obligation under the contract. Here, when the performance has become due, it is sometimes sufficient if the promisor offers to perform his obligation under the contract. This offer is known as attempted performance or more commonly as tender. Thus, the tender is an offer of performance which of course complies with the term of the contract. Here, if goods are tendered by the seller but refused by the buyer, the seller is discharged from the further liability given that the goods are in accordance with the contract as to quantity and quality, and he may sue the buyer for it breach of contract if he so desires. Here two parties are present in the contract, party A and party B. Party A is selling, party B is purchasing the goods. Party A delivering the goods to the party B. Now the party B is refusing to buy those goods which are already done according to contract. Here everything according to the contract duties were completed by the party A. Goods are very good, they are having the proper quantity and proper quality, but B is refusing to the buy those goods from the party A. Now the A having the rights to file a case against the party B, then A will get a right judgment when he is having interested to go to court. This is called attempted performance. This is about the performance of the contract, and again performance of the contract is divided into two types: actual performance and attempted performance. Thank you my dear students. Please subscribe my YouTube channel.